All right, I want to start off by saying, yeah, this trip is a 3 hour trip. Um, I'm using FSD. I have a 2021 Model Y. I'm using FSD 12.6.4, and they haven't updated in a while. But yeah, I'm using this version. I would say I've been using FSD for quite some time. I say this is like the most polished. Right under, I don't know what the newest hardware is, but I mean the newest software version for hardware 4 is. But I will say this. I mean, I have hardware 3. I mean, I plan on getting another vehicle later on, but so this trip, it my video kind of cut at 20 minutes. I'm gonna forward this really fast. It's a 3 hour trip. I'm driving from Chula Vista, California, up to the Tesla diner, which is, yeah, it's like in the almost the smack dead middle of Los Angeles. So it was a pretty long trip. I Yeah, so I'm at the very almost the I mean, where this is right now, I'm literally like 5 minutes away from the border. So please don't mind, or don't mind the cracks, window shield. But yeah, so I use FSD for about, well, this video is about 25 minutes. And then I move on to the charger in Encinitas. I'll put a couple maps up. And then after that charger from Encinitas, I had another break, which was like an hour and 30 minutes into the drive after Encinitas. And yeah, it was quite a journey. I would say I didn't have to intervene at all. I mean, it went all the way through. I mean, yeah, it's on hardware 3. Yeah, the cameras, obviously everything is not, the best version, but man, I say 12.6.4 is really polished. And I wouldn't I wouldn't imagine, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't imagine it it probably needs a little bit more tweaking. I mean, I would say at least maybe two or three more versions, and this thing will be. I mean, I didn't have to, I didn't have to touch the steering wheel the entire 3 hours. Yeah, so I'm just gonna play a little music, and I'll do a fast forward. Yeah, nobody's gonna sit through 3 hours, but yeah, I'm gonna play some music, do a little 3 hour drive, and there'll be a couple cuts because, again, one of them my son had to use the restroom, and the other one, my phone ran out of storage, so I had to delete some stuff. So yeah, here it is. Hope you guys enjoy. I'll try to have a good music selection, but yeah, I'll fast forward through all of this. But yeah, went all the way there. Didn't have to intervene. Actually, I'm sorry. I interviewed one time, and that was when I was entering the freeway. There was a person seemed like they were trying to get into my lane, and I don't think they were. FSD was catching it. So I did intervene. I probably could have just let it go, but I did intervene because I just wasn't comfortable. So yeah, there is one intervention, but other than that, the car does. I mean, it's a 2021 hardware 3 version 12.6.4. So I mean, it's I can't even imagine hardware 4 or hardware 5 when that comes out. I can't even imagine how much better it would be. And people are saying like they should use LiDAR. I mean, the cameras are, as long as the cameras are clear, I mean, clear sight, they work perfectly fine. But obviously, obviously it does need a newer version. I don't know how they're gonna do for the folks that paid for FSD that have hardware 3. There's been a lot of like like, I don't know. I don't want to say fake promises, but I don't know what Tesla's going to do with the Hardware 3 folks. Maybe they'll give them an incentive for a new vehicle or for something with Hardware 4. I hope they do something, though, because there's a lot of Hardware 3 vehicles out there. I'm pretty sure that's probably most of their fleet is Hardware 3. So I don't know what they're going to do. But anyways, enjoy the little ride. I'm going to fast forward it. And see you guys at the diner. All right, so that was when the video cut off. That was about 25 minutes of video. And we arrived at the Encinitas charger. It's a pretty busy this is like this charging area is actually a Tesla like dealership. So yeah, it's pretty busy. So yeah, we continue the trip. I think I cut it on like a little bit after I get on the road. I usually do that. I know it can leave the parking lot by itself, but I'm more comfortable with having it in motion before I start it up. And so one thing that was kind of tricky, well, not tricky, but one thing I didn't understand is that, there's three different modes, three different driving dynamic modes. There's chill mode, where it kind of stays in the slow lane. There's standard, where it'll do its moving, normally. And then there's a hurry mode. So right now, well, just a second ago, I was trying to get it to go into hurry mode while it was on the road, on the regular road. But come to find out, it only works when you're on the freeway. I didn't know that. So I figured that out just in this video, in this section. So again, yeah, this charger is in Encinitas, and so from Encinitas, this will go from Encinitas all the way up to the diner. So yeah, it's a pretty far trip. But all right, enjoy. Yeah, so I thought this was pretty neat. You can order your food while you're in the car on your way over there. So obviously, there's a bunch of chargers there. You can order the food, and then by the time you get there, park, charge. You should be able to tell them your stall, or they should catch your stall from when you plug it in, and they bring the food right over to you. It was pretty neat. I think I have a little bit of footage of that, but I might make another video later. But I really think it's pretty neat. You could just order your food within the within the screen, and then park your car, get your food, grub, and it was pretty interesting. They didn't charge this might be in the beginning, but they didn't charge an idling fee. Usually they charge, if you're sitting at the charger and you're sitting at the charger, you're plugged in, and they usually charge like an idling fee, just to get people to move so they don't take up the charger. So they didn't charge an idling fee. I think maybe it's because it's the beginning, or maybe because it's just the diner. But I think that it was pretty cool. You can order before you get there, and it did take some time. As soon as we got there and parked, I made the order in the car, and then we got out and walked around and checked out the diner. But yeah, by the time and then the app tells you everything. It tells you, like your order number, stuff like that, and then they tell you when they're on their way to your vehicle. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty neat. Again, I enjoyed every bit of it, man. I'm a Tesla fanboy, so I mean, not crazy, but everything they do, I really enjoy. So yeah, they even had the robot there, 2 big old huge screens, so you can watch whatever movie they're playing, and the audio come out of your car. So it was pretty neat. But yeah, so we're almost done with the video here. FSD is doing very well. Yeah, again, extremely impressed. Again, this is hardware 3.12.6.4. So, man, anything better than this, yeah, would be great. All right, see you at the diner. All right. So we made it. When we got there, there were a whole bunch of protesters out there. Pretty much protesting against Elon and his company, obviously. They were upset. They were saying something like, we're funding genocide and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, Tesla has a different mission. I understand Elon and the whole Elon drama, but that has nothing to do with like the engineers that built the vehicle, that put in all the work to help make, sustainability successful. I just think if you're gonna protest Elon, you don't burn up the cars and do all kind of crazy stuff. But anyways, the yeah, we got there. It was packed. I don't know if you could see the screen there. The big old drive-in theater looking screen. Yeah, but yeah, they were out there protesting. And the line was like huge. The line was massive when we got there. But we were able to kind of hang out for maybe about an hour or two and got popcorn. I did some video on the inside of it, went up to the top, did some video. It's actually pretty cool, man. I mean, name another car or tech company. At this point, it's not even a car company. Tech company that, is doing all this stuff, man. I think it's, again, I love technology. So, yeah, I'm going to be all in for it. Cars, my thing is cars and tech. You mix those two together. That's my heaven right there, man. So, but yeah, they were out there protesting. And so at this point right now, I'm going around the corner, about to get in line so I can charge the vehicle and get the food. So thank you guys for tagging along. I know it was a long video, looks like it was like 50 minutes long. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but yeah, FSD did very well. Thoroughly impressed. I can't imagine anything. I would say hardware 4, obviously way better. And then when hardware 5 comes out, even better. So, alrighty. Thank you guys. Peace.